What's up, guys? We are back in the shop today. It is early morning on Tuesday. We have just gotten back from sick week, and before I get started for work today, I wanted to show you guys something really cool that I got going on over here. We have got an absolutely gargantuan pile of parts here that have been waiting for me since I've been on sick week. So we've got some really cool stuff from UPR, Holley, FDF, and Trick Flow that are going to be going on Cherry, which all the Cherry stuff I'm going to do in a later video, because right now we're focusing on this guy, the engine for Blueberry. So I'm going to unbox these Trick Flow cylinder heads, show them to you guys. All right, I've gathered up all the new exhaust valves, some of my old valve train that I'm going to be reusing. So we've got our spring retainer keeper combo. I did end up having to get 2 new intake valves. Was able to save 6 of them though. They were not bent, but did bend every single exhaust valve. So all new foray of exhaust valves. Now these things are all unboxed and ready. I've taken a look over them. Really nice pieces. Really good craftsmanship on these things. But they're ready to go back in the machine area so that I can put the hoops in them. Now the hoops that I'm going to be using in this head is a 4350 solid stainless hoop. It's going to go boop right there. And basically how this works is we have a receiver groove in my block that has a little channel like this. Imagine a receiver groove. And this ring, I'm trying to do this with one hand, holding the camera, will sit in that groove like that and compress the gasket in between the groove, the receiver groove, and the actual hoop. And it will form a little hook and channel in there that will keep a nice seal on our cylinder pressure. I need to go back there as soon as the guys get here and see where we're at machining wise. I think I should be able to get these done today. Oh, and minor correction on these hoops, they're not 4350, they're 4310. I got confused because on a small block Chevrolet, we'd be using a 4350 because it is a 4400 bore spacing, but a small block Ford uses a 4380 bore spacing. So that's why we use a little bit smaller hoop just to accommodate for that. Okay, so we've got our Trick Flow high ports over here that are gonna be ready to put in the machine. We just had to wrap up a quick LS job that we were just surfacing. This is now done. So the next thing we're gonna do is put these heads in the machine and put the hoops in them. But before we do that, we gotta do something special. Right now, I do not have a daily transportation to work. So I had Dave, we're there, Good Guys Garage, fix up the bug. And we're gonna go pick that thing up, and I got something special on it for you guys. All right, we're here to pick up the bug. I don't even wanna look at it until I talk to Dave and we both see it on camera for the first time. What up, what up?
Ready to see it?
Ready.
All right.
Take a look at this bad boy. So we're here at Good Guys Garage after closing, which is a no-no. Don't show up after closing. I'm special. We got our boy Jake out here is going to show us what the work that they did.
We made you a little bit of an up pipe instead of a down pipe.
Oh my goodness, that looks professional, dude.
Try to make it look like, you know, everything we do. It's called a what's up pipe.
A what's up pipe? Okay, we got to pop the hood so we can see.
Bring an 8mm. You were gonna have to pull the flap.
Oh, you have to pull the flap off. Okay, to get the hood off.
Or else we were gonna have a lot of water dumping into your engine bay for it. So
right.
If you want, we can make the hole bigger.
Oh, that's fine. I think it looks perfect how it is. It's not gonna catch on fire, right?
No, we got the whole thing heat wrapped all the way down to the turbo.
Yeah, not here.
Down there it might.
Down there it might.
Just for the record, this was already here.
This was already here. The whole thing.
Just fire that bad boy up and hear it.
Hear it. Let's listen to it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That's cool. That's pretty cool. All right, cool, man. Awesome, thanks again, you guys.
Thank you.
Yep. First drive in the tractor bug. This thing is so ridiculous. I love it. It's awake. Yeah. Tractor flat straight up. That's what I'm talking about. We gotta stop and get gas because it is dead empty. I bet you once it gets hot enough, it could shoot flames. I don't know. The tune's pretty far off on it. All right, we are fueled up and ready to go. Let's get back to the shop. All right, guys, so you saw that we picked up the bug. She's outside chilling, running like an absolute champ. But we have got our cylinder heads now ready to go. Cody went back there and cut the receiver grooves for the hoops for me. So I was able to actually save 3 of the hoops from the old head. They came out in perfect condition. The other 5, however, I had to mess up. So waiting for them hoops to get here. They won't be here until Tuesday or Wednesday if I had to guess. So that's when I'll put them in and then put the heads on. But for now, what I need to do is I need to lap some valves, make sure that our seats are all perfectly correct, because I want to make sure I can't make any assumptions that the seat angles are the same and all that as the old heads, even though they should be, but it's always good to just double check. So I'll grind these valves, the used ones. I got 2 new intake valves, all new exhaust valves. Same spring retainer keeper combo as the old heads. So we'll be throwing them back on there as well. So we've got everything in place and almost ready to assemble, so I can throw the heads on there, and then once the heads are on that engine, we are good to go. So super big shout out to TrickFlow. These heads are amazing. These are by far the nicest heads that I've ever owned. Super happy to be working with those guys. All right, now let's go get over there and we'll start putting these heads together. All right, guys, we have got our 2 valves lapped in. See, we've got nice, perfect tracing on the intake, nice, perfect tracing on the exhaust. Our contact patch is perfect for our intake and exhaust valves. So everything's looking good. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just reface these used intake valves, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and check our installed height and install the springs and everything. So we'll just be waiting on the hoops at that point. All right, guys, we have finally got our hoops in from Total Flow. They are, in case you're just wondering, I don't know, 4310 by 45 by 85 is what I'm putting in these heads. Now that we've got the hoops here, I can finally go ahead and press them into our nice, beautiful TrickFlow 225 high forts. So we can see that I was able to save these 2, or these 3 rather, from the old heads before I sent them out. So just gotta pound this one in and these 4 in, and we can put the heads on the engine. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we've got our cylinder heads torqued on. Everything's looking pretty here. The next step that we're gonna have to do is I gotta clean this intake, clean up my valve covers. I'll put valve train on, put the intake on, and then after that, I think we're gonna start putting this thing in the car finally. So the main thing that I have to overcome here is the slight variation between the factory front cover that I had on it and the Innovators West belt drive. So this is my current front motor plate. Call it the bat wing for obvious reasons. But I got my oil filter here, remote mount. These are my 2 turbo feeds and water. These bolts right here should go through, and I think we can actually still use these bolt holes, which might be all we need. So I just need to check alignment on things, and that might not work with my new crank trigger / timing pointer right here. But other than that, it looks like it's not going to be too difficult to just use that motor plate, which I'm happy about because I didn't really want to make a new one of those because that was kind of hard to make. Once we get that in there, then we can start hooking stuff up and get this engine running. But we got to take it one step at a time. Let's get rolling on it. All right, so now while I'm just checking that all these are tight, which this one is not tight, missed this one. Anyways, I was gonna say, while I'm checking that all these are tight, I'm gonna tell you that when you're doing a stud mount girdle like this, generally you can set the lash with the girdle off, but always check it when you put it back on, because that girdle, especially if you don't do it right, but even if you do it right, can move the studs around a little bit and change your lash. And on this engine, I'm running a little bit tighter lash. I'm only setting it at about 12 thousandths cold, so we're gonna go ahead and throw the stud girdle back on it, and then we're gonna check it again real quick just to make sure nothing has moved. All right, all the lashes set, we're looking good here. Now all I really need to do is clean this intake, throw the intake on, valve covers on, and throw my cam sync in there, and we will be a go to go ahead and try and figure out mounting everything that I need to mount to this thing in order to put it in the car over there. So that's gonna do it for this week's video. Make sure you guys tune in. In the next couple weeks, we'll be doing the actual engine install into the car, as well as getting it running and figuring out mounting alternator and oil pump and whatever else we need to mount. So I'm Kyle. Thanks for watching the channel, guys, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, do me a favor and go follow my Instagram. It's @motorsportkyle. Thanks.